Hello everyone. I fucked up my watch list again. Uh, it's probably there isn't any undo button in TradingView for this. Making the same mistakes again. Gonna take some time. Okay, I think finally. Yeah. I actually didn't plan to stream today because during my weekend preparation I didn't find any many names that looks interesting. But we're getting a gap down today, like pre-market and at the open too. And IWM is at a really interesting support level. Daily 9 EMA, previous highs, and the gap. And a lot of the names are gapping down and like going lower today. And so I really wanted to use today as an opportunity to show how you should like manage your positions or what you should do during a pullback day. And especially a day like this, like I think IWM at this level is really interesting. So Intel is gapping down into the N-Cafe web from the gap up from the EP. ARM is gapping up today and actually going higher. So I'm going to watch, are there any like potential extension and some volume spike coming up. But actually, from my during the weekend, I was watching a lot of. I've looked at a lot of charts, especially the leaders. And I think we're gonna have a higher chance for getting a pause or a short-term pullback, especially like the arm is getting really extended. And but software names are the theme is that is the best, the leading sector right now. That Dow is wow, crazy, 50% above the 50 EMA. And the cybersecurity names are going straight up. That I completely missed all of them. But I really think that during a day like this, or like as we're in a pretty stretched, the leaders are going 90 degrees up on a with like consecutive green days. Dell is doing something like this. ARM is going straight up. And some of the names are trying to lose the 21 EMA. So I don't think that it will be a great time to be very aggressive. Like I'm putting CoreWeave into my watch list, but it's not like about like buying CoreWeave today. I'm trying to track that the strength after this break gap up. Is it going to follow through higher, or getting rejected and falling back into the anchor VWAP? So I wanted to give me some hints on that. So I'm probably gonna close my Tesla today. So it's getting a little bit weak and staying below the 9 EMA. And yeah, with the increasing chance of getting a general pullback, I think yeah, I'm gonna close it today, I believe. Yeah, I think ARM is gapping up by more than 15% today. Maybe I don't know. EFS is pretty weak today. I think like the general semi sectors the semi names are getting. You're probably gonna have a pullback pretty soon. But still some names are showing strength and bouncing off the rising EMAs. I don't know. I sold some MU into strength, trying to reduce my exposure a bit. I mean, like the market can definitely go further higher, but yeah, I think the risk reward of holding longer is getting smaller and smaller. I closed my GFS. Like Intel cannot follow through to the upside after testing the end of VWAP support. Not really bullish actions so far. Close my Tesla. EMPH at the 9 EMA, I think I'm just gonna keep holding it. Yeah, and I at the same time don't want it to be like getting out from all of my positions. I like trying to get it one by one, slowly and steady, because you never know when will be the exact top of this bull run, and if the market continues higher, then I can have some exposure to grab the last bit of the profits. But yeah, I think like we're gonna get a short-term pullback. And don't get me wrong, like I don't believe this is the top of this like in the longer term. I don't believe that will be the exact top. I think it will continue higher after the potential correction or pullback, but in the short term, it's a little bit extended, and a lot of the leaders are getting pretty stretched, and I think they are gonna have maybe several weeks. I think they need a several weeks consolidation before another leg up. And that's the Samsung and the SK Hynix, and this United Microelectronics is also getting very extended. Like they are the semi leaders in other markets, South Korean and Taiwan markets. Yeah, again, I think I'm not like claiming that will be the top. But like the current situation is, we're getting a little bit closer and closer to the turning point, and we're seeing some volume coming in, not really gigantic, but yeah, definitely some volumes picking up with wider candles and the gap ups. So yeah, maybe we'll see some maybe a few more days or even weeks of going higher. Yeah, right now I think I wanted to be a little bit conservative, or at least that we want to see some sideways action. Core wave is pretty strong today. Yeah, I really want to see it bounce into the weekly declining 9 and 21 on the gold. I think silver is pretty good. It looks pretty ready for the shorts, but I didn't get the entry. Nvidia is breaking out today. That's a bullish thing to see. And yeah, today's low will be important for Nvidia. If Nvidia do not violate this low in the following days, probably like they will have a high chance for of still going higher, going further higher from here. Oklo looks ready, maybe 1 or 2 more tight days on our 10, 20, 50 cluster. Yeah, I think I think I'm not gonna buy these breakouts. Maybe this is like kind of related to the situational awareness. I believe as the market is getting weeks extension, and we're seeing a laggard, a lagging stock that looks like it's going to break out. That if Oklo is getting the same chart in the maybe the first 1 or 2 or the second week into this uptrend, probably I'm gonna take it. But in like I think if you're asking me to buy this right now, being kind of extended in the general market, I think this is the one that I'm gonna skip. I don't know, maybe it's gonna work, but I'm not gonna trade it on. Yeah, that's why I really think like the same chart, giving me the same chart but in different context, different timing, gonna have different decision on it. So always it depends. And yeah, I think I'm not gonna take this one. And Barfall is another example. Huge volume at the top and like distribution candles. Not yeah, I'm not interested to like to long here. And light is like slipping through the 50 EMA for the first time since the Liberation Day low, and the huge uptrend started since. But with that said, I'm always too early to too early to short and too early to long. So maybe we are going to get a few more days higher. I from my experience, when I starting to feel a little bit bearish, we're going to have a few more days higher and before the real reversal. So that's why I'm not selling all my positions today. Just selling some of the weaker ones and keeping some of them. I only did one shot, and yeah, it is looking to break out from the anchor view. Let's see how it goes. And talking about Oklo again, I think weekly is holding up to 9 EMA, although the 50, I mean the 9 is below 21 and 21 below 50. So we could definitely, like, it could potentially maybe rip higher and then found resistance like the previous weeks, like how it did in the previous week. And it could be a short, actually. Yeah, it could be a short actually, but I mean it could go both ways. Now we are getting a range tightening, contraction, and probably we'll see like breaking out either side. But I will lean towards the bearish, the downside more. Probably I'm gonna get stopped out very soon on ARM. Really curious to see how extended it could get. Like I never experienced this kind of market before, and if we get another gap up tomorrow, maybe I'll try again. But I learned from the mistakes from like QBTS back in is it QBTS? GTI? Yep. Back in October last year. So we keep grinding higher. Like these few days looks like it's getting some selling pressure, but eventually it continues like 30% higher before the extent at the top. Yeah, I think for the coming days, I will focusing more on taking the profits instead of opening new positions. I think the higher it gets, I will sell more into strength. And yeah, I wanted to be prepared for the pullback. I really want to minimize the drawdown when the pullback comes, and then I can get better prepared either for the shorts, either for the trading the reversals, or buying into the dips. It looks like we are still too early. I think from my experience, I think we'll get another maybe 1 to 2 weeks. 1 to 2 weeks higher. I started shorting RGTI, I think, on this day or this day. And then we get another week up. And yeah, the quantums are looking pretty good. IGV is still hanging up. So Martin, you've said previously that you don't have any hot rules when selling into strength, and that you lean more on discretion. Is this still the case? Yes. I think most of the time I won't really wait until the close below the 9 EMA. One of the major reason is a lot of the current huge movers are moving really quick and getting too extended from the 9 EMA. I mean, if we really look at a extreme example like RGTI, you will get a 20% pullback when you sell after the close below the 9 EMA. But definitely, if you could ride the trend much higher if you have selling all into here. But I found that I could I think that's also the case back then. I've exited my whole positions up here, and then I'll report it after it breaks out again. And I would rather try to report it than sitting through a 20% pullback, especially when you're getting margin. You're trading on margin, and you have a lot of positions. You have a lot of long exposure in the market, because when the market corrects, then most of your positions are gonna correct at the same time, and you'll get a higher than expected drawdown from the peak. And personally, I'm not a fan of that, and that's what my approach. But yeah, it's just my approach. And if you decided to hold until the close, it's definitely nothing wrong. I just find the style that suits me the best. The quantums is pretty strong today. Love the reclaim on the and final support at the 9 EMA. A lot of the names are doing that. UMAC is looking pretty attractive to me. I hope I don't know. I think I've sold GFS a little bit too early today. Oil is gapping up into the declining 50. Would expect some resistance or digestion in this 94, 95 area. But it would be really bad to the market if oil continues clearing the resistance, the 950, 20, the EMA's resistance, and getting followed through. So I think that's it for today. I'm not going to trade for the remaining of the day. I think it's too early to short and too late to long. Just gonna manage my existing positions, and not gonna spend much time on the current market. So thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you in the next one.